In 1875, Matthew abandoned his studies and served in the French army for a year before returning to Mulhouse to join the family business. This left Alfred alone in Paris. He resolved to stay in school because he now had a new ambition: to enter the École Polytechnique, the university focused on engineering, which stood at the pinnacle of the French educational system. Entrance to the Polytechnique would be a launching pad for a career as a French army officer. Alfred had dreamed of getting revenge on Germany ever since he saw Prussian troops enter Mulhouse, and no doubt the sight of his brother in a French uniform reinforced his patriotism. His sister Henriette also helped kindle the fire. "Shouldn't we have at least one officer in our family when the time for vengeance comes?" she reportedly asked Alfred during one of his visits to her home in Carpentras. Although the German army did not have Jewish officers until World War I, and there were few Jewish officers in the British or American armies before World War II, the situation was different in France. As Derek Penzlar explains, military service was compulsory for French Jews during the Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars, where it came to be seen as a duty of their newly granted citizenship, and many French Jews embraced a military career in the 19th century. France had hundreds of Jewish officers and at least 20 Jewish generals during the Second Empire and Third Republic periods, 1851 to 1940. Many of these officers came from Alsace, where patriotism ran especially high after 1870. Although it did not pay well, a career in the military offered prestige and social capital, which attracted upwardly mobile Jews like the Dreyfus family. The overrepresentation of Jews in the French Army Officer Corps can also be explained by the increasingly meritocratic nature of that institution. True, many officers still came from traditional backgrounds. The Army was long considered a good career option for younger sons of the nobility, as well as for the offspring of the bourgeoisie hoping to improve their social standing. These Catholic scions often attended Saint-Cyr, the military academy that had been founded in 1802 by Napoleon. But as the Army attempted to modernize in the wake of the Franco-Prussian War, it opened its officer corps to more students from the École Polytechnique. Admission to both schools was determined by a competitive entrance examination, but private Jesuit secondary schools had a near monopoly on the preparatory classes necessary to pass the exam for Saint-Cyr. The best preparation for the Polytechnique, on the other hand, could be found at secular public schools, which Jews felt more comfortable attending. Alfred returned to the Collège Sainte-Barbe in the Latin Quarter from 1876 to 1878 to prepare for the entrance exam to Polytechnique.